Guys, NXT Battleground is this Sunday, and I've been thoroughly enjoying the NXT products. I'm not going to lie, I've only been watching week to week for like 3 weeks. Like, once Sexy Red got announced, I started watching, and I've been locked in ever since. And it's not like I haven't had any knowledge of NXT prior to those 3 weeks. I've been to NXT Stand and Deliver, and I've seen most NXT PLEs leading up to this point. But it was just in the last 3 weeks I had that moment where I'm like, yo, this show's actually cooking. Let me lock in real quick. So now here I am reviewing and watching the NXT product. There are 6 matches announced for this card, and just about all of them are banger alerts. But before we get too deep, I do have to mention that Sexy Red is returning to host NXT Battleground. Now, what does this entail? It could just mean she's going to be involved in more segments on the show. And judging by the fact that on her first episode of NXT, she was involved in like 3 segments, I don't know how many more you can really involve her in without her taking like a bump or doing a spot or something like that. My guess is she's probably going to do like a spot or like a bump or something on the show. Maybe she'll throw a hit at somebody, I don't know, but she's going to do something. Judging by the 18 to 49 demographics they had when she was on the NXT show, I'm sure they're more than happy to bring her back, probably in the future as well. I don't have any issues with Sexy Red being on the show. I thought she was largely entertaining the first time she was on here. As long as she doesn't take up too much time, I have no problems with it. All that being said, now let's get into the card. Lola Vice will be challenging Shayna Baszler in an NXT Underground match. Now, since this show is taking place in the UFC Apex, I'm guessing that the NXT Underground might be a fight pit match. But then I ask myself, how could they pull that off given that, you know, they're in such a small arena? Like, I don't believe the UFC Apex is that big. Or maybe they take all the ropes off and they make it like a GCW Bloodsport type beat. That might be really fun to watch. The only issue there is that you have to put all the ropes back on during the show. I don't know how they're going to pull it off, but it can't just be a normal match, right? I feel like if you advertise it as an NXT Underground match where every other match is just standard and it's a standard match, then why did you even label it NXT Underground? That being said, Lola Vice is the actual NXT talent. I know Shayna Baszler is a former NXT Women's Champion, but she's on the Raw brand. She doesn't really have anything to gain from beating Lola Vice here, so Lola Vice gets the win. Axiom and Nathan Frazier defend their NXT Tag Team Championships against the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. I mean, I'm not crazy about this match happening. The Good Brothers, I feel like, are a good tag team, but like don't have anything interesting going for them. And by interesting, I mean in the ring. They don't really do anything for me. I anticipate that Axiom and Nathan Frazier are going to bring that fun, light, and heavy aspect to this match. They had a damn good tag team match against Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker at Stand and Deliver, but that was also Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker, so maybe not match of the night, but I got Axiom and Nathan Frazier retaining. Obafemi defends his NXT North American Championship against Wesley and Joe Coffey. After the success of his triple threat match at Stand and Deliver between Dijak and Josh Briggs, they're running back another triple threat match. A little redundant, but not mad at it. Do what works. Especially when you consider the high-flying aspect of Wesley is going to give this a different feel from the last triple threat match. This should be very, very fun. If not, maybe another match of the night caliber. Wesley just recently returned. He's been getting good pops, and I think a lot of people might be banking on him to possibly win the title back over anybody. Joe Coffey, they've been trying to get this guy over what feels like for years on the WWE brand, and I don't really feel like it's working. Not that he's a bad wrestler, it's just, nothing interesting about him. However, Obafemi is their guy right now. He is absolutely killing the game. I would not take the title off of him anytime soon, so I would have Obafemi retain the NXT North American Championship. When he drops that title, it's because it's time for him to go after the NXT Championship or to go to Raw or SmackDown. Until that point, he stays champion. The inaugural NXT Women's North American Championship is going to be crowned in this 6-woman ladder match. We have Michin, Last Legend, Kalani Jordan, Jada Parker, Sol Ruka, and Fallon Henley. I love this match because you can make a case for all 6 women winning this match. Even Michin, who's not even part of the NXT roster. One of her stakes being that she was in NXT but never won the NXT Women's Championship or any championship for that matter. One of her major injuries in WWE being in a ladder match in NXT. She has the lowest chance of winning, but she has a stake in this match. Ash, Fallon, Sol Ruka, Jada Park, everyone's been built up pretty prominently. For my pick, I'm going to do a little process of elimination. I just talked her up, but first I'm going to take out Micha. She's not from NXT. She's going back to the main roster after this program's done, so she has no reason to win this championship. Next one I'm going to knock out is Kalani Jordan. Nothing against her. Her promo on NXT this week just didn't sell me on her, so I don't really think she should be winning it. Not now, at least. Next, I'm going to knock off Fallon Henley. Just not her time yet. Now, had I gone into this show blind, I would have gone with Sol Ruka, but I'm going to knock her out. And that's because she just returned. I think she's only had like one match since her return. I don't think she should be winning the championship in her second match back. Have her fight for a little bit longer and then go after the championship and then win it. Which leaves me with two. Jada Parker and Lash Legend. Now, I'm a pop if either one of these two women win, but I'm going to say Jada Parker takes it. In the last 3 weeks, this woman has got me locked into the entire NXT brand. Jada Parker just has it. She has the style, she has the flair, she has the in-ring prowess, and she has the promo ability. For a woman who has only been on NXT for like maybe not even a whole year yet, she is damn near the full package. I know it's premature, but she feels main roster ready right now. You can make a case for Lash Legend being main roster ready too, and I would agree with you. But Jada Parker, that's it right there. She's got to win. Like I said, any woman in this match, I'm not mad if they win, but I'm going to be hella hype if Jada Parker wins. So I got her winning this match. Roxanne Perez defends her NXT Women's Championship against TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace. I'm not too sure why we've been having this trend of champion versus champion matches in WWE and AEW, but here I'm gonna let it slide because it's a champion from a whole different company. It is still surreal to me that Jordynne Grace is TNA Knockout champion, is going to be contending for the NXT championship while still under a TNA contract and still a Knockouts champion. Never in my wildest dreams would I envision that a TNA WWE partnership would go like this. At her first official WWE match at the Royal Rumble this year, I was there to see it. It was crazy. It was hype. She just had her second match on NXT this week. It was short, but it was sweet. It was to the point, and it got everybody excited and hyped for this match coming up this Sunday. Now, the chances of Jordynne Grace winning this match are low. Not impossible, but low. However, while I will go with Roxanne Perez to retain the NXT Women's Championship, I will make a case for why Jordynne Grace should win this match. People are already talking. People are already excited for the potential of a WWE TNA partnership that's currently in act right now. If you want to really get people buzzing, get people talking, get people enticed to see what's going to happen on NXT next, there is no bigger way to do that than to have a champion from a different company beat your current women's champion and become the new NXT champion. Think of how crazy it would be to have Jordynne Grace be the TNA Knockout and NXT Women's Champion. Now listen, I'm not saying Jordynne Grace has to go on some monster run. Realistically, she wouldn't, because at the end of the day, she's still a TNA talent. She's not WWE. But just for the headlines, just for the buzz, I would have her win this championship. You could have Roxanne Perez win the title back on NXT next week. Because again, Jordynne Grace is TNA property. She's not WWE. I know it's a low possibility, but I am rooting for Jordynne Grace to win. That being said, even though I'm rooting for her, my money is on Roxanne Perez retaining. I will be cheering for TNA that night, just so you guys know. The main event, Trick Williams will be defending his NXT championship against Ethan Page. And this one is harder to call than I really thought it was going to be. Trick Williams just won that championship like a month ago and is the face of NXT. Ethan Page just came in like 2 weeks ago and just signed his NXT contract this week. However, in that short period of time, he has cut one promo, and that sold me on Ethan Page and NXT. Just for the simple fact that this is his first match in NXT and he's competing for the NXT championship, the question just has to go through your mind. Would they actually pull this off? Would they actually do it? Takes me back to New Japan last year, Dominion 2023, when Sonata went up against Yota Tsuji in Yota Tsuji's return match to New Japan for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. It was a crazy match to do. It's Yota Tsuji's return match. Are they going to pull the trigger and have him win the championship this soon? They didn't do it, and I honestly thought they should have. But here and now in NXT, I don't really think they should be having Ethan Page win the title this soon. However, much like Jordynne Grace versus Roxanne Perez, if they wanted to shock people and get people talking, I don't think Ethan Page beating Trick Williams on his first night in and being NXT champion is such a bad idea. Trick Williams can always win the title back later on, or you can just call him up to the main roster soon after that point. I wouldn't wouldn't say it's a bad idea for him to win, just not one I would ideally go for. I have Trick Williams retaining the NXT Championship, but this is going to be a very, very interesting match to watch. I will be live on the Red app for NXT Battleground this Sunday. Don't miss the live. It ought to be a great show. See you all there.